8:13 in the morning on a Friday. And in the studio with me right now, Heather Marcozzi, Willie Saylor. The Flonationals are here again at the KCAC, and we're so happy for that. And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Willie, let's start with you. The wrestling started yesterday, didn't it?
It did. A little twist this year to Flonationals. We went with the international styles, Greco and freestyle. And Greco kicked off yesterday, and today starts a 2-day tournament in the freestyle side. More participants on the freestyle side, so that's a 2-day tournament.
A little bit higher stakes this year, too, huh?
Yeah, Flonationals has always elicited some nationally ranked talent, but there wasn't anything really on the line other than bragging rights. Mm-hmm. This year, it's part of the USA Wrestling's World Team Trials process. So the wrestlers come here, and based on their performance, they get seeded at the World Team Trials in Akron in June. And so that's part of making the world team, which the cadet, now I keep saying cadet is 17 and under.
Okay.
And so the cadet worlds this year are in Sofia, Bulgaria. Ooh. So a lot of these kids actually will be in Bulgaria in August.
Yeah, so they're wrestling right now for their seedings.
That's right. Yeah.
For that big, what will it be? The next step this is a regional, correct?
This you actually make the Pan Am team. So there's five world regions. Mm-hmm. Pan Am's, which involves Canada down to Argentina, and then there's Euros and the African Championships, and but for us, you make the Pan Am team. So these kids, they will go to. It's in Mexico this year. Mm-hmm. The winners here at Flow will represent the United States in Mexico at the Pan Am Championships.
All right. So yesterday was Greco.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know, the difference between Greco and non-Greco.
Yeah. So there's folk style, which is wrestled in high school only, high school and college, and then there's Greco-Roman and freestyle, which is wrestled internationally. That's what the Olympics are. That's what the World Championships are each year. That's what the world does. And Greco, you cannot touch below the waist. Mm-hmm. So it's all upper body throws and lifts and things like that. Freestyle, which starts today, I think the main difference between people that are, and this is wrestling country, right? So there's listeners out there that are very well schooled in high school wrestling. Mm-hmm. But the difference, I would say, if you don't know what freestyle is, you don't stay on top. If you take your opponent down, they give you, 10, 15 seconds to try to turn them. If you don't, you go back on your feet.
Yeah. Okay. People making the leg dives today, though.
Leg dives.
You're diving for the legs here today, and the talent level is something that I think is most impressive to me, because you've got the top wrestlers from all over this North American continent.
Yeah. So I think in the past, I think our numbers were bigger, the brackets were bigger. Mm-hmm. And I think this year the switch to Greco and freestyle, and also compounding being on Easter weekend, I think the numbers dipped just a little bit, but the quality sure didn't. I mean, we got the best, and I think maybe maybe the numbers dipped a little bit because the quality was so high that some kids our parents and coaches was like, I don't know if we can compete with that kind of level talent. And I mean, we got Richie Figueroa from California is here. He was cadet world silver last year. He was world silver medal. He was in the world finals. So, and he is in a bracket with another world teamer. So 2 kids that represented the United States last year at the world level are in the same bracket this year.
Yeah. Showdown time. Mm-hmm. They're headed for it.
Yeah. In every bracket, there is multiple kids who have made a national final of one sort or the other. And so I couldn't be happier with with the results and with the entries. You know, you make a big change like this. Flonationals has always been very, very successful and attracted a lot of talent, but you make a change, a drastic one, going from folk style to freestyle and Greco, and I think, you worry about what field you're going to get. Well, I'm very at ease about what we got.
There's some uncertainty there. Heather Marcozzi, of course, for this entire community, for the KCAC, for wrestling in general all across Western PA. This is a place to be this weekend, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's exciting. The arena is something to see. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
And wouldn't it be great to see the place just fill up with wrestling fans?
Oh, it would be amazing. I want people that don't know about wrestling to come learn about it. It's just a great arena. It's a great venue for what they're doing. And tomorrow, especially for the finals at 1:00, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So, but there's some pretty hot action happening there today.
Oh, it's going to be good today too.
Yeah. So when's the program start today?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. So we're not so far from now, but they're over there limbering up right now.
Oh, they've been running since about 6 this morning. Yep,
Yeah.
They weighed in at 7. They're ready to go.
Yeah. So it's going to be terrific stuff. So let's get back to the wrestlers themselves. As she mentioned that they've been rolling already this morning. The typical wrestler's day today is going to include how many matches?
Depending on the bracket, they're going to get 4 matches. 4 matches. It goes through the quarterfinals. So if you make it through today on the winner's side, then tomorrow you have to wake up, weigh in again, and wrestle the semifinals and the finals.
Yeah. One of the things that always fascinates me about Flonationals when they come here as well is who's watching, because there are some big-time college recruiters that have their eyes on what's going to be happening and right there in front of them. They've come here to see this high caliber of wrestling. There's Penn State with all those national championships, got another one this year, and Iowa's going to be here. They're all going to be here because they want to see these guys going against each other.
That's right. Recruiting is the biggest aspect of college wrestling. They'll all have, by Penn State, I talked to Penn State coaches, there's going to be a representative here, at least one. Scouting. They're all scouting. I think the interesting thing is that they're targeting kids at a younger and younger level. These kids are mostly sophomores, juniors in high school, and recruiting is so important that they scout them younger. And you know what else we have this year, different than in years past, is we have the USA Wrestling developmental coaches here scouting.
Oh yeah.
So we have representatives from the Olympic Training Center is based in Colorado Springs, and they sent out a couple guys just to scout to see, okay, we want this guy at the training center. We want to offer this guy a spot at the training center because we like his talent.
So for the typical wrestler, maybe it's a 15-year-old kid who's a local legend and has started to make his name regionally and maybe made a big splash at the state wrestling championships in his state, whatever state that might be. And now he comes here. His name is on their screen right now.
Yeah.
And they've heard about him. And now they're coming to Flonationals because they know 2 things. One, this is a kid that has an up-and-coming reputation. 2, he's going to meet top-flight talent right here.
Yeah, there was a kid that yesterday from Washington State, that won Greco in dominant fashion. He beat one of the best freshmen in the country rather handily. I mean, very workmanlike fashion, but this was a kid that wasn't really on my radar, and he looked like the most complete Greco wrestler there yesterday. And I wrote in my recap, "Is he the best young Greco talent in America?" I mean, that's one of the beauties of these national tournaments is you arrive, you get recognized.
Yeah.
From any, it's the wrestling's one sport where it's a pure meritocracy. You could be a point guard, and the assessment of you is subjective. I mean, this scout thinks this scout thinks that, this college coach, this ranker ranks you here, but he ranks this other guy over here because he likes his style of play. Same with a quarterback or a wide receiver or a lineman. In wrestling, you know who's ranked first? The guy that got his hand raised.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. Your result is going to be what really gets the attention. And your result doesn't come through anything other than you're getting out there on the match with the other guy and proving who's best at that given time. So a lot of good things happening at the KCAC today. Heather, doors are open now, I would assume.
Doors are open.
Yeah, folks can go and they can watch this great wrestling action at the KCAC today. Tomorrow, again?
Tomorrow, the finals are at 1, and I know freestyle is a little bit foreign to some folks, but I promise you that if you come and you watch the finals, or you watch online, whatever it may be, it's faster paced, it's higher amplitude, it's much more exciting than regular high school wrestling.
Yes. All right, so there's a great wrestling community around here in Indiana, and you can bet they'll be there too.
Yeah,
wonderful. Hey, thanks for making the time to come in and visit with us.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it so very, very much. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.